What is up, my guys? Welcome back to the channel known as Azure. As always, I'm your most endearing of hosts, and today I'm followed by a different kind of co-host. Go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
Hello, you internet nerds. My name is Juan.
Damn, you got me feeling some Robin Williams thing, man. Now I'm gonna be depressed throughout the whole video. I hope you're happy. Anyways, back to the subject of this video. As you can tell by the title, we're gonna be talking about Major Payne, movie that came out in around mid '90s. Don't you agree? Because I don't really want to look it up.
It was released in where was it? In March of 24 March 24th, 1995.
Yeah, literally in the middle of the '90s. So yeah, I don't know. What was your first thought? Because I know I've seen this movie before, but you haven't. So what were your initial thoughts?
It's like the typical 90s movies for kids, like Cody Banks, Ace Ventura, or any of the other 90s kids, because they had all the same tropes as those movies, like the main character, the love interest, the fat kid, and like the romantic and the comedy parts as well.
It also has the bad boy turning good at the end, doesn't it?
Yeah, and like the heart of and like the character who's a part of gold.
Basically. So yeah, for all you people who don't know what Major Payne is about, basically it's about this guy named Major Payne. Well, Major is his rank in the military because he's a Marine. Well, his name is Major Winifred Payne. That's his name. He says it like 2 times in the movie. Either way, about him, he gets honorably discharged from the Marines because he won every battle he was in. He joins a JROTC program that's in a private school, and well, their program is basically shit. They literally have no discipline, no rules, and every other commanding officer that tried to teach him, they quit. So it's up to Major Payne to get all these buffoons in order. And, basic hijinks ensues. The kids try to sabotage Payne. Payne fights back in a comedic way, i.e. basically they give him a super laxative. It doesn't work. He farts, and one kid passes out. That got a chuck out of you, Juan. I know that.
Fart jokes are
I know
funny.
you damn well they got a chuck out of you.
Fart jokes are funny.
Yes, no matter what anyone says, no matter what they say, fart jokes are funny. No matter what. Like, fight me on that. I dare you. Fight me on why fart jokes are not funny. I will say, literally, almost every single time. 9 out of 10, they're funny as hell. So yeah. Another scene that probably got you and me both was when, before he joined the JROTC program, he tried to join the police force, and the scenario was domestic violence, and the scenario that he was given was that you got a call, and the woman's crying, and she's saying, "Oh my God, he hit me." He walks up to the guy and starts smacking the shit out of him left and right, thinking, "You think it's good to smack women, huh? You like that shit, boy?" What do you think of that one? Because I know you were dying of that. See, even now, just thinking about it, he's dying of laughter.
Yeah, just because how over the top it was, and
Of course. That's probably the best part of '90s movies. That the fact that they know that they're not really meant to be that good, but they're all over the top. That makes them that good in a sense. Like, you take a movie now, it's all melodramatic and serious, and compare it to a '90s movie like this, you're gonna choose a '90s movie almost eight times out of 10. That's how I see it. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I agree. Radical, my dude.
Yes. Go ahead, throw in some '90s synth pop in here or whatever the hell that type passes music at that time. But yeah, so as I mentioned before, I didn't watch this movie as a kid, and I really enjoyed it as a kid. Like, I would watch it with my mom, I would watch it with my sister, my uncles, and all them other people, and we would all enjoy it. Like, it was like mostly because we grew up in a scenario where we like were accustomed to that kind of humor and everything too, because we're like the whole poverty type thing. This was made by one of the Wayans brothers, prominently key point of making fun of like that type of situation too. Would you say so?
Yeah, I say so too.
Yeah, because you also grew up in like a poor part of things.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the movies like this, Friday, all the other stuff we relate to on a more baser level. Like, it appeals to the lower class, I guess, if you want to say. If you want to be all quote unquote semantic about it. But yeah. So what really got to me though is like, one thing I realized while rewatching this, I did not know that Hilary Banks, the girl from Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, was in this movie. It took me from when I saw it then to now to actually realize I was. I remember you guys fought me on this because you said, "No, that's not her." I was like, "Yeah, that's her. That's like her." Like, Julian came in too. He was like, "No, that's not her. She looks way too old to be in." So no, that's her. How come you thought it wasn't her?
Well, one, I haven't really seen the movie. Two, I've only seen like a couple scenes from the Prince of Bel Air, so I kind of mistaken her for the one of the other characters.
Hmm. I can see that. Yeah. But yeah, like Julian who's seen French Prince of Bel Air was adamant about saying, "Oh, that's not her. That's not her. She looks way too old." I'm like, dude, what are you talking about? She was about 24 in Fresh Prince of Bel Air, like during this time of this movie, and I'm like, and she barely looks 26. So yeah, that makes sense. And he's literally like, that's one thing I want to say. Like, he's kind of a hard case, wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I
Like,
would agree too.
yeah, like if it's not his way, then he'll just be like, oh, semantics, like that. Like, no, just admit you're wrong. Like, come on, man. All right. Either way, I'm getting off track here. Major Payne is actually one of the most decent comedy movies of 1995, and that's saying something considering how many comedy movies came out in that era. Like most of the stuff doesn't really hold up all that well. Like how the whole cross dressing scene happened. Like it's not really what you think. It's like it's a form of disciplinary punishment. Like so, what happens is the fat kid dresses up in a dress to get Major Payne in trouble, i.e., like oh he's mistreating these people like in a sense like how what was it not Stevie Wonder, I know it's not that, one of the movie producers what was like mistreating people or
Harvey
or sexual
Weinstein.
harassment or something like that. What was his name? Do you
Harvey
remember?
Weinstein.
There you go, Harvey Weinstein. Yeah, that Harvey Weinstein. They basically want to do a Weinstein move on him and get Payne fired for sexual misconduct or something like that. And he that doesn't go well, and then the whole platoon gets in trouble, and they all have to run around campus in dresses too, chanting. And like, yeah, that wouldn't hold up now because well, i.e., transgender rights, cross-dressing rights, and all that other stuff now. But it was funny in the '90s, and it still kind of holds up now. What would you think?
Yeah, the
Do you think
comedy.
that something like this will hold up?
Nah, not some of the parts wouldn't hold up, like the whole child molestation thing and the dress, probably, because that would have been
Mm-hmm.
taken. It would have been seen as something that it wasn't. It was product of its time. Basically, what I'm trying to say
Yeah.
is that plus
Yeah.
some of the humor is kind of more slapstick as in the '90s back to compared to now, which more like
Mm-hmm.
witty.
Yeah. More so like in a sense like this kind of comedy is more in your face slapstick kind of like reminiscent of stuff like Tom and Jerry type thing. Whereas comedy nowadays is more like, oh, who's got more wit or who could say the most one-liners or make the most puns out of something like that. I'm like, that's fine and all, but come on, you know slapstick's gonna be better than that. Like, it's literally physical comedy. That's what gets people nowadays. Like, you put up a video and show it to a bunch of people that gets reactions because someone fell down on the floor or got smacked in the face. That's slapstick. There's no witty banter. There's nothing like that, and that's what gets reactions. I think slapstick's actually kind of making a comeback nowadays with all the TikToks, all the Instagram reels, and everything like that. What would you think? Is it making a comeback, or is it just like
Yeah,
stuck in the '90s?
yeah. I think it will make a comeback with like the new Animaniacs cartoon coming out soon and on Hulu.
Mm-hmm.
So that could be a comeback for that. Though Major Payne did have some witty dialogue as well, with Major Payne being quite quotable, as you say. Like, I don't remember the quote like fully, but it was one where we're like, "My name is Major Payne, ladies, and my business of killing is good," or something like that. I gotta find it because it was really funny.
Yeah. Another quote that people often like when they movies is like, "If you want sympathy from me, look in the dictionary between shit and syphilis." That was a good one.
Yeah.
That was a funny one, and that one comes up to like another physical comedy humor where he takes a grenade in his hand, takes out the pin, and starts counting down, and all the other cadets except for one starts booking it across the obstacle field, and this one cadet is adamant, saying like, "Yeah, this is a dummy grenade." He chucks the grenade and blows up a tree and looks him dead in the eye and say, "Who the dummy now, huh?" And that's when he fucking books it across the obstacle course too. Like that kind of comedy to me won't ever die. Like you could have that no matter what, and I'll still go watch the movie. I would be the only person in that theater watching the movie, and I'll still laugh my ass off. That's how much I enjoy that kind of comedy. I'm all for nuance. I'm all for complicated plots and everything, but put a comedy movie like that in my face, I'm gonna watch it no matter what. What about you?
Yeah, the movie's pretty funny. Yeah, plus it's kind of a parody as well, or a satire of military movies like Stripes, Full Metal Jacket, and all the other movies. Because
Mm-hmm.
the character Major Payne is kind of like a spoof on this platoon sergeant yelling insults and doing like cruel and unusual punishments to new cadets and stuff to whip him to
Yeah,
shape.
yeah. Because I think the last scene was that this blind kid lets his dog run through, and he's like, "What the hell is that?" And then the blind kid's like, "That's my blind seeing eye dog," and he just literally straight up doesn't get it. And Payne goes like, well, "What does a boy want with a blind dog?" And then the kid's like, "The dog is not blind, you idiot. I am." And then next thing you know, boom, the kid and the dog are shaved from all their fucking hair, and that's literally that's literally the ending scene. Just pure comedy gold. That's what I'm gonna give it. Comedy gold. I know I'm probably gonna be one of the only people that say that, but like everyone says, comedy is subjective, and it is needed in times of hardship to bring light into people's lives. Like you can't water down comedy just because it offends some people. That's kind of the point of comedy, to offend some people in a lighthearted way in order to make other people laugh. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, I agree too.
Yeah. I remember like I forget what cartoon it was, but it's like about a duck, and he goes on this whole rant about what comedy is really meant to be. And I don't know if you know this. Like I don't, it's like an adult duck thing.
Duckman.
I don't know if you know. It's like it looks like it was made in the '90s too, but it might be just because of the art design.
It was
I don't know.
Duckman.
If you guys know what I'm talking about, like this duck where he goes on a rant about what comedy is meant to be to people, how it's supposed to be subjective, how it's supposed to actually be raunchy and borderline offensive to every single person on the planet in order to alleviate some of the pain that people are going through. That's basically what it is.
Wasn't it Duckman?
If you guys find out, just write it down in the comments. You know, or you already know. You were gonna say something, Juan?
Wasn't it Duckman? That's the only that's the only 90s show that I know that has a duck in it and it's raunchy.
Ah, yeah, that's right. I forgot about that one. Ah, man. I don't think I've seen that one in a while too, so I'm probably gonna go back and look at it. But yeah, other than that, like this movie, that's really what you get on the face value of it. Like, there's no nuance underneath. There's no like subtext. There's no twist or anything like that, which is a good thing to have. Like, not every movie has to have a complicated plot. Has to have a twist at the end. Not it has to have a hidden meaning or something like that. Sometimes a movie is just a movie. Like, it's there to entertain you. That's what film is, and that's what it's supposed to be. So yeah, those are our thoughts on Major Payne. I don't know if you want to add something else, Juan, or if you do.
Over the top humor, but yet enjoyable.
That's exactly what it is. So yeah, if you guys have any questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, you already know what to do. All the subscription stuff, you already know. If you guys want to check out any other stuff we have, we'll probably leave a link in the description to something like that. Other than that, I'll see you guys, and let me know if you want Juan to come back in another video. If you guys are tired of hearing Julian. All right, see ya.
Adios.